So a very warm welcome to each and everyone present today. I hope all of you are in good health. Now in today's class we'll be going through Java packages first topic, then we'll go through inheritance, and finally we'll go through methods and method overloading and overriding. Okay, these are the concepts that you actually deal in OOP programming, that is object oriented programming. So we'll just see how those OOP concepts are actually integrated, are used in Java. So first of all, I'll go through Java packages. What is a package? In just simple English, what do you think a package is? Please write down on the chat window, each and every one of you. What do you think a package is? Irfan says where all classes are stored. Vineet says stored. Wasil says group of classes. Okay, in English, package is something that can store something, that can put some, you can put something into a package. Okay, it is a collection of particular things. Now, similarly in Java you have got packages, but in Java you can store classes into your package. Okay, the objects that go into the package are called classes in Java. Let's move on. We come to what is a package. A Java package is a mechanism for organizing Java classes into namespaces. Okay, that is, you give a particular name to the package. On that particular name, within that you'll find all your classes that you have included in the package. Okay, so you actually organize Java classes into namespaces. Programmers use packages to organize classes belonging to the same category. So whatever class that you make in your application, there could be 4 classes that would be providing a particular functionality in your application. So you would like that all the 4 classes should be present in the same package name. Okay, so what you can do, make a package and within that include all the classes which are of same category or the similar type. Classes in the same package can access each other's package access members. Okay, they can use the objects that are present in different classes, so classes can interact with each other which are present in the same package. Okay, so this is what is a package. Let's move on. I come to advantage of a package. What do you think is the advantage of using a package? First of all, programmers can easily determine that these classes are related. Okay, as soon as you see that there are 5 classes that are present within a package that is beneath, then you'll understand that all the 5 classes are actually related to each other. Okay, so you can figure out, as soon as you see it, you figure out that yes, these classes are actually related. So I'll study all these 5 classes once and then I'll move on to other classes. Then moving on, programmers know where to find files of similar types. Okay, if you're actually looking for a particular type of classes, you know that where to find them. If you get the package name, you know that all the classes of this particular type will be present in that particular package. Third is, the names won't conflict. Now what is the meaning of this statement? Can any one of you tell me? Vineet says, is there any other Vineet or you are concerned of me? Now you are the only one present with my name. You and me are only Vineet present over here. Now guys, tell me the meaning of the third statement that is written, the names won't conflict. What do you think it is? Mahvish says 2 classes cannot have same name. Yes, correct. Ashraf says class name does not conflict. Okay, now if you want, as Mahvish said that 2 classes cannot have same names, Wasil says 2 different packages can have classes with same name. Exactly correct. Okay, if you want that 2 classes with the same name, what you can do, you can place both the classes in different packages, right? So that is what is written over here. The names won't conflict. That means since 2 classes cannot be of the same name, what you do, you place them in different classes with the same name. Rakesh says the same name is exit in the difference package, then no issues. Exactly correct, Rakesh. We come to the 4th point, that is, who can have define access of the types within the package. Okay, you can define. Okay, you can define the access of the packages of the classes within the package. You can provide the access modifiers, whether it would be a public class, whether it would be a private class. Okay, so this way you can define the access of that particular class which is present in the package. So hopefully you have understood what is package and what are the advantages of a package. Let me see whether I have a question for a few or not. Okay. Not on package. Let's move on. What are the naming convention of a package? Package names are written in all lower cases. Okay, if you would have used Java before, you'll understand that package name is actually written in lowercase. You never use a uppercase for defining the name of the package. Second is companies use their reversed internet domain name to begin their package names. Now what does this mean? The example is right here. There's a company which is named as example and the website is example.com. This is the domain name of the website. So what you did, this company actually wanted to make the package, so what it did, it wrote com.example.mypackage. Okay, so for example, com.example.mypackage for a package named mypackage created by a programmer at example.com. So are you guys clear with this nomenclature that has been shown to you? Are you clear with this? All of you, please write down on the chat window, each and every one of you. Mavish says yes, clear. Mohsin says com.google.mypackage. Exactly right, Mohsin. Irfan, Sai, Ashraf, Hardik, Rakesh, everyone says yes, that's good. So I'd like to display a demonstration on Paint. Where's Paint? Okay. Let's say, first of all, I'll write com.edureka.entity. Okay, this is the name of a package within which there is a class present, which is class car. Okay, so when you wrote this is the package name and you are placing this car within this package. So in physical representation in your hard disk, how it will come? So first of all, change the color. First of all, you'll have a folder that will be named as com, then it will be an entity folder, and then finally you'll find second will be the Edureka folder and third will be the entity folder. So this is this is com folder. Within that you'll find Edureka folder and then you'll find the entity folder. Okay, and finally within that you'll find your class car. So this is the hierarchy that has been followed when you write the package name. So all of you, are you clear with this? Okay, I received yeses again, that's good. So this is just for explanation so that you can understand it perfectly. Getting back to presentation, we were done with this part. Moving on, the naming convention of package. If the domain name contains, okay, I told you that they just reverse the domain names, like if it is google.com, it will be com.google and the package name, whatever they want to add after that, right? But sometimes what happens, your domain names can contain a hyphen or a special character like star or something like that. So if the package name begins with a digit, illegal character, reverse Java keywords such as int, okay? In this event, the suggested convention is to add an underscore. Like the domain names are, these are the examples and these are the package names. So if it is hyphenated dash name dot example dot org, so you write org example dot hyphenated, instead of the hyphen what you place an underscore name. Example dot int, you write int underscore dot example. 123.example.com com.example dot underscore 123. So this is the naming convention. These are the suggested naming convention. If you find a special character, a reverse keyword or a numeric number in your domain name, then in those cases you just have to place an underscore there and then. So I guess you are clear with this because that is quite simple to understand. Let's see a very small diagram to understand what is a package. Mohsin says yes, I'm clear. First of all, you make your project. You make a Java project in your IDE, that is Eclipse. After that, you make the package name. You write package.com.myproject. So this is your package name. This package is actually present in the project. Then you have your source folder. Within that, you have your package name like this, that is com folder, my project, and my class.java. Okay, this is your class present within the package right here. Finally, as soon as you compile this code, okay, when you compile this code using the Java compiler, what happens after that? This package name gets replicated, and now you get another package, that is class com my project, and finally my class.java. Okay, whenever you see, go back to your Eclipse, and when you see in your workspace, you'll find it like this, that is, you get another folder that is classes. Within that, you'll find com my project, and then you'll find your my class.class. All of you, are you clear with this diagram? Please write down on the chat window, each and every one of you. Okay, then I hope that you are quite clear with the package now. There won't be any doubt left. If you have any questions, you can ask any one of you. Now let's go to Eclipse and we'll try to understand the package. We'll just see a small example for a package. Okay, Edureka packages. Now in that you can find two packages. One is the default package. If you do not name any package, so it directly takes one as a default one. Okay, so I made another package, that is com.edureka pack1. So as soon as you add a package name, what happens? com.edureka.pack1, you have your system.out.println hi. Okay, so this class is present in this package. You can add as many packages as you want in this project. So I go to source, right click, new, I add one more package. Okay, I write com.edureka pack2 and I click on finish. So I've got another package. I want a class, so I'll just move this class from the default one to second package. Okay, so we have got two packages. As soon as you move the class that was present in default, what happens? Arun says, what is the advantage of this? Now can any one of you help Arun? If you have got mic, I'll just unmute you, and the person who wants to help Arun, just write down on the chat window. Can any one of you answer this question, that is, what is the advantage of this package? Come on guys, please write down on the chat window. Let me see how many of you have understood. Vineet says have everything together. Hardik says to avoid conflicts between classes. Sai says it contains all the similar classes. Irfan says different classes can be in one package. Okay, Arun, the basic advantage is you actually you accumulate, you make a collection of all those classes that are of similar types. The first advantage. The second advantage is you can, if you have two packages, in one particular package you cannot have classes of same names. Like I have a class that is named Vineet, then I cannot have another class which is also named Vineet, right? So whenever I want to do such a thing, what I'll do, I'll place the second Vineet class in the second package. So this way there won't be any name conflict. Okay, now Rakesh is saying, Arun, if you want to create example class in the same package, that's not possible. So for that you have to create the two different packages. The same point that I have explained you right now, Rakesh is also saying the same point. Rakesh, if you have a mic, then I can unmute you. You can explain it by speaking. Do you have a mic, Rakesh? In the screen we have source but not class Y. Okay. Rakesh says I have. Okay, Rakesh, I'll unmute you. Nikhil, I'll just answer your question. Yes, Rakesh, you can explain, Arun. You can speak up right now. Okay, he says cannot talk from here. It's fine. Okay then. Now Nikhil is saying in the screen we have got the source folder but not the class file because you do not have a class file. Do you have a .class file, Nikhil? You just have the .java file. But in the workspace where you'll be saving the project, you'll find the class folder as well. Okay. I'll just save the files. Okay, so I've got hi that was printed in example, this one. Okay, so what I did actually, I have a package one that is at com.edureka pack one. First of all, in that I have a class that is example.java. So in example.java, what I did, I actually defined a method that is display. Now this method will only display that is hi. This statement, this string it will display. So hi, this is a class in another package. Okay, so we have got a class in which we have got a display method. Then I define another package that is pack2. In that I have got simple.java. In simple, what I did, okay, in simple what I did, I made an object of class that is example a equal to new example. Instead of a, I can write any object name. So I'll simply write object. I'll use object here. Okay, so we are creating an object of the class example which is present in this package. So what I did, I imported this package by using the import keyword. So I wrote import com.edureka.pack1.example. Okay, so this is the class. I imported it, using which I created an object of this class right here in the main method, and I call the function that is object.display. Any one of you, do you have doubt in this? Please write down on the chat window. Vineet says no. What about the rest of you? Have you understood it? Rakesh says cleared. Om says, can I import method name only? Not like that, okay? You'll have to import the class. You can import the packages, okay? That's simple, you can do that. But when you have to use the method, you'll have to create the object of the class. Using the object, you can use the method that is present within the class. Is that clear, Om? Hardik says clear. Ashraf says it's clear. What about the rest of you? Om says okay. Okay, that's very good. What if pack1 contains the class sample.java and I want to create object in other package? In pack1 without main method, how display? Okay, Arun says in package 1 without main method, how to display executes? You cannot execute if you do not have the main method. Main method is the starting point of your application. So whatever thing that is present in the main method will only get executed. Okay, Arun? Main method is actually called the entry point of an application. I hope it is clear to you. Please write down on the chat window. What if the pack1 contains the class sample.java and I want to create object in another package? Simple. Can we add class from one package to other? Yes, so without main method, our complete application is useless. Exactly, Rakesh. You'll have to use the main method. Whatever call, whatever class that you want to use will be used through the main method itself. So whatever execution that has to be done, whatever call of a method, everything has to be present within the main method. Mohsin says, can we add class from one package to other? I actually did the same thing. I just dragged and dropped the class into the second package and it was added in the second package. Yes, you can do that. Okay. As Sai's question is still left, I'll just see that. What if the pack1 contains the class sample.java and I want to create object in another package? That is what I did. Sai, I have this class that is example.java and then simple.java. Now I created the object of example.java in simple.java. This is the simple.java class. Is that clear to you? What if the packages contain the same class name? I want to create object of other class by importing the other class. Okay, let's try it. So what I'll do, I'll change the class name. So I'll write simple. Simple and okay. Now, Sai, as you can see, it is showing you an error. Okay. Sai says yes, that's what I wanted to ask. So I actually implemented it to show it to you. So as you can see, it is saying that example cannot be resolved. Okay. Since the class name is also simple and the package that you imported using that is also simple. So if you remove this, it will be fine. Okay, so it was showing you an error because you cannot use like this. You can use the name of the similar class. In just a minute, example object. Okay, I just did controls and it went off. Okay, so the answer is you cannot do like that because both the classes were same named. I'll just do it for you again. Show it to you simple. Next and finish. Okay, so it will show you an error because this is also simple and even the class is simple, so you cannot use it like that. It is causing a conflict, right? But you can have two different classes. You can use this simple class in any other class. Okay, Control Z. So I hope your question has been answered. Yes, you cannot do that. Okay, he says yeah, fine, that's good. So we are almost done with a package. Now we'll just go back to the presentation here and we come to inheritance, another important topic of Java. Arun says how to import more than one class. Arun, you can just use it in a similar fashion as you have done it right now. Import, you write the package name, you write dot and the name of the class. Okay, so this is how you can do that. If you have any other class in here, you can just use the dot operator. After that, mention the name of the class. It will import that particular class as well. Okay, now we come to inheritance. Inheritance means that you are actually, a class can inherit a particular class, that is in terms of Java. If you want to understand it in a real world, in a practical example, what you can say, that is, everyone has a father, right? Now your father owns a particular property. After some time, you are the rightful owner of that property. You inherit that property after your father, right? So similarly, what happens in a class, what you can do, you can define particular things within a class. You can inherit all those things in different class. So that is called inheritance. Let's see what it actually means. The child class inherits all the attributes of a parent class. Like in a father-son relation, son inherits each and everything that a father has got. Similarly, the child classes inherits all the attributes of a parent class. They also have their distinctive attributes. Okay, like this is a super class that is called animal. Okay, all these three things, that is reptiles are animals, amphibians are animals, and mammals are also animals. So what you can do, you can import, they will be the child of this parent class. You can inherit this class. But even though reptiles have got distinctive attributes, amphibians have got another attributes, and mammal have got another attribute, so in some way they are similar. due to the superclass that is the parent class, but in other ways they are different. They have got different attributes. Like a reptile uh, can crawl on the land. An amphibian lives in water, and a mammal can give birth to a newborn. Okay, so this is an example of a inheritance. All of you, are you clear with this? Please write down on the chat window. Everyone. So Ashraf says yes, sir. Sai says yes. Mohsin says yes. Vasil. Vasil says yes. Vineet says yes. Hardik says yeah. Okay, Hardik spoke after a long time. Okay then. Let's see like this. I've got a class animal. Amir says hello sir, he's late. Yes, I know you are late, that's fine. You'll be receiving the recording, so you can go through that, Amir. Now, I was saying that we have got a class that is class animal. In that we provided few attributes, that is type, it is not human, lives on land and gives birth. Okay. Similarly, now I created a class aquatic, I extended animal. Okay, whenever I have to inherit a particular class, what I have to do, I have to use the extends keyword. Arun says, will all the properties of a parent inherit to child? Yes, you can use all the methods, all the variables or attributes that are present in the parent class in the child class if they are not declared as final or static. Okay, if you declare them like that, then they will be confined to that particular class itself. Or if you declare them as private, they'll be confined to there itself. Only to that particular class. No derived class can use that private method. Okay. Arun says, okay, sir. Now I was saying class animal, we have got three attributes. I defined a class aquatic, which is extending class animal. Extends is the keyword that is used in Java to inherit a particular class. Now in this class, I changed the attributes because amphibians do not live in, aquatic animals do not live on land, but they are definitely not human. So we am not defining it, but I'm changing lives in water. Okay, and it definitely gives birth. So what I'm doing, I've like this class is inheriting class animal. Animal is a bigger type, a general type. Then we become more specific, we come to aquatic. But even though it is finally an animal, that is why I'm extending this animal class in the aquatic class. Let's try to understand with the help of code. Okay, this was just a diagram. Are you clear with this? Guys, are you clear with this? Do you like the diagram that has been prepared for you, everyone? Amir says yes, clear. Vineet says yes. Ashraf says yes. Mohsin says yes. Arun says yes. Okay, that's good. Moving on. Now this is a package that is com.edureka.animal. Within that I have a class that is animal. Okay, now in this class I have defined the attributes type, that is not human. I have actually converted the diagram itself into codes, that is Java code. So public string type not human and public string lives on land. Okay, I have also created a function which is not doing anything. It is not taking any attribute, it is not returning anything, neither it has got any functionality. It is just a function that has been defined. Now in the same package, what I did, I added one more class, that is aquatic. Aquatic extends animal, that means aquatic is the child class and animal is the parent class. Now in this class I just changed, that is string lives, that is same variable. I changed it to in water. Okay, so we have got one variable that is lives, which is equal to on land in animal superclass, that is the parent class, and in the child class it has been changed into in water. Okay, and I call the function itself. Now I had a function right here, again call the function system.out.println. Right now you will not understand what I'm doing. We'll be dealing this topic in the later part of today's class. So just skip this function part. Till here understand that since aquatic animals have got a distinctive attribute, that is they actually live in water, so I changed it to in water. Moving on, I come to the main class, that is I added one more class, that is main. Now in this I have a main method. In this main method what I'll do, I will make an object of aquatic class, that is the second class, ob equal to new aquatic. Using this object, I can call the variable that was defined in the parent class right here, that is in animal. I'm calling ob.type, and I'm calling ob.lives. Lives is present both in aquatic class as well as parent class, but you'll see that it will call the function that is present in the second one. Rakesh says, I mean how Java knows if I am using the extends keyword, Java will inherit the properties of the parents. I means how Java knows if I am using the extends keywords. Yes, as soon as Rakesh, as soon as you write the extends keyword after that class, that actually means that you're extending a class. You're making the class in which you are writing the extends keyword is the child class, and the name that is written after the extend keyword is actually the parent class. These are already defined, so it is the syntax that has been provided to you. Now whenever it finds that kind of syntax, what it actually gets to know that each and everything that is present in parent has to be used, can be used in the child class. Can we see the any definition of the extends keyword? Amir says, sir, can you briefly define what a package is, please? Okay, I'll do that, Amir. I already have a diagram. Now, the name of the package, let's say the name of the package is this. That is com.edureka.entity. This is your name of the package, and this is the class that is present in the package, right? So in your hard disk, you'll find, in your computer, you'll find that com is actually a folder within which you'll find a Edureka folder. Then you'll find an entity folder in Edureka. Finally, in entity, you'll find the class that you defined, that is car. So this is a package name. Are you clear with this, Amir? So you can place all the similar kinds of classes which are interrelated into one particular package. Are you clear with this? Please write down on the chat window. He says yes, sir. Okay, don't get confused. Let's go to Eclipse, okay? Mayank says, sorry for coming late, sir. It's fine, Mayank. Rakesh says, okay, go ahead. Let's try to understand inheritance first, and then, okay, I have this animal class, aquatic class, and the main class, the same example that was given in the presentation. So what I did, you can even remove it or you can override it. Okay, I'm removing this line. And even function, okay, if we are not using function, you'll understand it why. Now, I have an animal class, okay, that is the general class. In that, only you define that type is not human, okay, an animal is a type which is not human. Omar says, demerits of coming late, missed a lot. Exactly, Omar, but you'll be receiving the recording, so go through that. But for the next time, please don't be late. Mayank, Omar, and other people, those who were late today. Okay? Okay then. In animal class, I defined a string variable that is not human. That means whatever lies in this category will actually not be human. Second, I have a class that is aquatic. In aquatic, I extend this keyword that is animal. In that, I define a string that is lives in water because it is different than that, okay? And finally, I have a main method. In the main method, I'm creating the object of aquatic class, aquatic ob equal to new ob. Now using the same object, I can use the type that was defined in animal. If you can see in aquatic class, I haven't defined any variable with the name type. But still, using the object of aquatic class, I'm using a type variable. Okay, so when I run this code, control F11, I receive not human and in water. Okay, you can display it like this, which will look much better. Aquatic animals are not human, that is ob.type. I'll write plus, Then I'll write again plus, I'll open up the quotes and I'll mention lives, and finally plus again, and I'll write ob dot lives. Okay, and I'll remove this line. Run this code. I have my result. Aquatic animals are not human and lives in water. So, and lives in water. So, are you all clear how I am inheriting, how I am using the variables? Okay, the type variable was declared in the first superclass. Okay, that was animal, but I was able to use that variable using the child class, that is aquatic. Sai says yes, clear. What about the rest of you? What I'll do till that time, I'll add one more class. Okay, I'll write new class reptile. In reptile class will also extend the same animal class. Now within which what I did, I'll write string. I'll just copy it from aquatic. Now this has got a distinctive attribute that will be it lives on land. Okay, so I'll write on land. Saving it right here. Now in the main method this was aquatic. Now even reptile class is using the same superclass, that is animal. So write reptile rep equals to new reptile. Using rep, I'll copy the same statement, Control C, Control V. Instead of ob type, I'll write rep. Instead of ob.lives, I'll write rep. Rakesh says if we define the type in child, then it will show the child value. Yes, Rakesh, it will do that. Okay, I'll just show you. Now when I run this code, aquatic animals are not human and lives in water. Instead of aquatic, this time I'll have to change reptile. Reptiles. Reptiles are not human and lives on land. Okay, so I'm extending the same class and I'm using the same attribute, that is type. Now as Rakesh said, if I want to change the type, then if I just define this variable in the child classes, so I'll just copy it, Control C, Control V, type not human, I'll make it to fish. Okay, let's say fish, and in the reptile itself I'll change it to lizards. Okay, and I save the file, run as. Now you can see aquatic animals are fish and lives in water. Reptiles are lizards and lives in water. So it will use the variables, the values that has been defined in those particular class itself. Amish says, can I have look at animal class again? Sir, absolutely you can. So Rakesh, is your question answered? Please write down on the chat window, each and every one of you. Are you clear with this? Now what is the benefit? What did you understand from this demonstration that I gave you right now? Can any one of you tell me? Did you receive a demonstration? Did you receive an understanding? Rakesh, I'll do that also. But till now, tell me, have you understood anything from this? Can any one of you summarize this thing? What is the advantage of inheritance? That that's earlier is fine. Mayank says we can keep on adding new classes in our program. Nikhil says when to define variable public. Whenever you want that variable should be used all over the application, you can define it public. Decouple the things. Reusing code, Amir says exactly correct. We are actually reusing the code. Now by using this statement, what I did, I do not have to mention type in each and every class. I just extend the class. I'm reusing the code. In reptile also, if I even remove, because both are not animals, I would have to mention that they are not animals. So instead of doing that, what I did, I actually inherited a parent class, and I was using the same variable that was defined only at once in the parent class itself. Okay, so this is the advantage. We are actually reusing the code. Om says when requirement comes, when we have to change functionality without changing old one, then we use this inheritance. Okay, that's correct. Mayank says without touching the previous code. Okay. Now, Rakesh said make it private. Did you receive an error, Rakesh? Rakesh says I agree with Om. Now, Rakesh, is your question answered? I changed the type, that is the access modifier of the object that was type. Okay, I changed it to private. Now it is starting giving you error because now it will change. Now it is giving you suggestions like change visibility of type to default. In default you can use that particular variable in the same package by any other class. So that is why it is giving you a default, or else you can define it public as well, as we did the last time. Is that clear to you, Rakesh? Please write down on the chat window. Okay, that's good. Right, so we are actually reusing the code by doing this. We are taking the benefit of this class in two different classes, of this animal class in aquatic and reptile class. Okay, Amir says what is the advantage of using the package sir? Sai says protected can be accessed. Yes, I'll change it to protected now. Sorry. No error because protected, if you have a protected access modifier, that means if you got a protected modifier in before the variable, that means that that particular variable can be used by all the classes that are present in the same package or by the derived classes. Okay, that is why it is not giving you any error. Are you clear, Sai? Please write down on the chat window if yes, and I'll give the answer of Amir's question, that is what is the advantage of using the package sir? The advantage is, first of all, you can categorize your classes. If 5 classes are of the same type, what you can do, you can place all the 5 classes in the same package. Now as a programmer, when you're seeing a code, if you see that 5 classes are present in the same package, you'll understand that these 5 classes are either of the same types or they are interrelated. Okay. Second thing, whenever you have to search a particular type of class, in those cases as well, if you find one class, then you'll understand that the rest of the classes will also be present in the same package itself. Okay, so these are the few advantages of using a package. Are you clear with this, Amir? Please write down on the chat window if yes, and rest of you, let me know, are you clear with this? Amir says, okay sir, got it. Sai says no questions. Okay, actually I'm running short of questions today, Sai. Okay, let's have this question. Let me see how many of you answers this one. Which of the following statements is true? Java does not support inheritance. Java does not support multiple inheritance. Java does not have primitive data types. Java does not support multi-level inheritance. All of you cast your answers. Please click on the polling screen and give your answer, everyone. I haven't told you this answer yet. Let's see how many of you give me the correct answer. Amol says, hey, Amol, you're late. Yes, Mayank and Ashraf, you are correct. Have you given your votes on the polling screen? Amol says network problem. Okay. Okay, Ashraf says yes, I've given it. Pranav, you are also right. Sai, I don't think you are right. Okay then, we have got the answers now. 62% of the people says, Pranav says support by interface. Okay, yeah, you are correct. Now 81% of the people says that, sorry, 62% of the people says that Java does not support multiple inheritance, 15 says Java does not have the primitive data types, and 23% says Java does not support multi-level inheritance. And the correct answer is, that is 62% are correct. Java does not support multiple inheritance. Okay. Now there is a, can any one of you tell me what is the difference between multiple inheritance and multi-level inheritance? Can any one of you tell me? Amol says yes. Amol, instead of saying yes, please give me the answer. Multiple, one to many. Okay. In Irfan says one base class and many derived. Arun says more than one class extended. Yes, Arun. Multiple means more than one class extended. That's correct. Omar says multiple is inherited from many classes to a single. Exactly. Irfan says multiple inheritance. Mayank says multiple inheritance is if a class extends many classes. Exactly correct, Mayank. Om says multiple means one to one to one. Okay. Like. Amol says multiple is from A to B and B to C. No. Amol, A to B and B to C is actually multi-level. It is not multiple. Arun says one by one. Amir says in multiple one class is inherited by many. Now, which is only possible for interface, man says. Okay, multiple inheritance means that like your aquatic class, it is extending one class animal. Now if you want to extend one more class, you cannot extend it. If you write extends keyword like this and write any class reptile, it will definitely show you an error. Or if you say that just place a comma and write the class, I'll place one comma and write reptile, reptile, it will give you an error absolutely, because Java does not support multiple inheritance. Now what is multi-level inheritance? Like an animal class is inheriting the aquatic class is inheriting the animal class. Now in the reptile class, instead of inheriting animal, what I'll do, I'll inherit aquatic. So it is forming a ladder, it is making a multi-level inheritance. So reptile inherits that is aquatic class, and then aquatic inherits animal class. So all of you, are you clear with this multiple inheritance and multi-level inheritance? Please write down on the chat window, everyone. Mayank says roses are red, sky is blue, extends only one but implements two. Exactly correct. That's one. That was very good, Mayank. You can just comment this on community. Okay, I find you online every time, but I don't see any comments, any questions from your end on the community, Mayank. So you definitely post this, that is roses are red, sky is blue, extends only one but implements two. Mayank says I'll do it, sure. And rest of you, please like it, comment different points like this. That's very good. Okay then, I hope you have understood, all of you, right? Now, let's move on. Now, since we are clear with inheritance, now how to attain multiple inheritance? Okay, there is a need. Okay, there is actually a need of multiple inheritance, but you cannot do it. But there is a thing that is present in Java using which you can actually attain multiple inheritance. It is through interface. We'll be dealing with interface in the next class. And the answer was already given in Mayank's poem. That was, it can implement two interfaces. Okay. Implements is the keyword. Whenever you have to implement the interface, whenever you have to use an interface, you'll be using the implement keyword. Okay, so we'll be dealing with that in the next class. Please don't worry about it right now. We come to Java methods and classes. Okay, we'll understand what a class is, what are objects, and we'll understand what is a method, how to define it, what are the variations that are present, as well as we'll understand method overloading and method overriding. Okay, moving on. I come to create new object type with class keyword. Whenever you have to declare a class, you'll be using a class keyword. You would have seen many times right here in animal. Whenever you want to define a class, class keyword is used. In aquatic as well, you can see the same thing. Reptile, you have got the same thing, and even in the main. So class keyword has to be present whenever you have to define a class. Now, a class definition can contain variables in it, it can contain initialization code in it, it can contain methods in it. Okay, so these are the three things that your classes can contain. Variables, you know that, like X is a variable, like there was a type variable in the class animal. Okay, so these are all variables that can be defined within the class. Then you can have initialization code. You wrote that type equals to not human. Okay, you are actually initializing that variable, so that is a kind of initialization code. Similarly, you can have methods. We'll be dealing with methods in a while. So you can also have methods within your class. Okay. Now an example class. Package com.edureka.entity. So this is a package name in which you have got a class car. A car class has got three variables in it: string name, string color, and float weight. So you can have many variables. You can also have methods within your class like public void move. Now this method is not returning anything because it is void. The return type has been set to void, as well as it is not taking any parameters. Neither it has got a definition in it. Okay, so we'll understand what is a method. So this is just a example of a particular class that you generally have in Java. Moving on, what are objects? What is the function of an object? First of all, object is the runtime representation of a class. Okay, that means whenever you have to use a particular class, you'll be using an object, you'll be creating an object of that particular class. Using that object, you can use the things that are present in that class. Okay, like if you see the example right here, we have used object. When I come to main class, I wanted to use the content that is present in the aquatic class. So what I did, I created the object of this aquatic class. First of all, I wrote the name of the class, that is aquatic. Then I mentioned OB, that is object name, equals to new operator actually allocates memory for your object, and then I again write the aquatic with the parenthesis and I put a semicolon. So this is the syntax how you actually define an object of a class. Using this object, I'm using this variable that is type as well as the variable that is lives. Okay, so I'm using the content of the class using the object of that class, hence it is told that object is the runtime representation of a class. Okay, or you would have heard that an instance of a class is called an object. Now, object holds state with variables. Can any one of you tell me the meaning of this line over here, that is objects hold state with variables? Please write down on the chat window. These are all, consider it as a poll question, but instead of clicking the radio buttons, you have to write on the chat window. So I'm sure Sai will answer this question. He loves questions. So all of you write it. What do you think is the meaning of this statement, that is object hold the state with variables? If you do not know, you can write no on the chat. Sai says, lol, I don't know the answer. Okay, what about the rest of you? Mohsin says no. Lokesh says, don't know, sir. Objects contains the variables, Umar says, okay. Ashraf says object hold class variables, okay. Arun says life cycle, okay. Any other answer? None of you is perfect right now. No value of variable without object. Okay, Nikhil says variable with its value. Okay, that's correct. Now he's quite close. Nikhil says that variable with its value. Every object has got its own instance variable. Okay. Yes, Mayank, exactly the correct word, instance variable. Every object has got its own instance variable and that variable will have their own different values. Okay. I'll show you a demonstration as well on this. Let's see other answers. Amir says means it has value of variables or its states. Umar says variables are associated with objects. Okay. Mayank says instance variable. Let's check out. I'm going to Eclipse now. Let's make a new project. I'll close this file. I'll go to new Java project. Testing. Is there a project with testing name? No. So I write testing and this in the source folder I'll add a class that is test1 and finish. First of all, I'll add one more class, new test2. I'll include the main method in it and I'll click on finish. Mohsin says, sir, I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay. Ashraf says it's whole default values. Okay. Now, in this I'll declare one variable, integer state. Okay. state. I put a semicolon. I come to test2 file. In the test2 file, what I did, I want to use that variable. I'm creating an object of that variable. Test1 equals, sorry, the object name ob1 equals to new and test1 semicolon. I create one more object that is test1 ob2 equals to new test1 and I put a semicolon. So we have got two objects. Using the two objects, both the objects will have their own distinct instance variable. What is the instance variable? This variable right here will be the instance variable of the objects of test1 class. Okay, so I'll be using the instance variable by using the object that is ob1 dot state equals to 10. I put a semicolon. ob2 dot state, I'm using the instance variable of second one and I will assign a value 18 and I save it. So I'm putting different values in both of these things. Now it does not mean that the value of this state variable will change to 18 now. Okay, I'll just print out the statement system.out.println and in that first I'll print this one. And then I'll print this one. Okay, first I'll copy this and in that I'll change it to ob2. Okay, I run this code, control F11. I receive 10 and 18 on the console window. Then that means that these two objects are actually holding the state of their variables. Pranav says different copy for both objects. Exactly correct. Okay, so they'll be holding the state of their variables. Whatever value is present in that variable will be stored. Okay, it will be safe. It won't change. So all of you are clear with this line that was present. That is object hold state with variables. Everyone write down on the chat window if you are clear. Ashraf says yes sir. Mahesh says yes. Sai, Pranav, Amir, Mayank, Arun, Arun says state is of object type. No, state is not of object type. State is of, I think it is of integer type. Yes, it is of integer type. It is not of object type. Okay? Okay then. I come to the third statement, that is objects do some work with methods. That is, you can use a method using the object. We'll be discussing as soon as we discuss the objects, as soon as we discuss the methods part, then I'll be showing you how to use method using the objects. They are used in a similar fashion like you're using the object. Okay. Now, objects can be created during runtime as follows right here. As I told you, first write the name of the class, then you mention the object name, it could be any name, equals to new and car with the parenthesis, and you put the semicolon. This way you'll be creating the name of the object. You'll be creating a new object. So I guess all of you are clear with this part, that is classes and objects. On this note, I'll check for a question. I guess I have one. Okay, the question is, what is a class? A class is a section of the hard disk reserved for object. A class is used as a template to create objects. A class is a collection of objects with similar parameter. A class is a selection of computer memory containing object. What do you think is the answer? Everyone, please cast your votes, give your answers. Okay, Sarah joined in right now. Sarah, you're late today. All of you, I request everyone to give your answers and think and then answer. I'm seeing most of you are actually answering the wrong answer. Only 50% have voted. I request everyone to give your answer, please. "56, 63, 69, 75. Come on guys, be quick. Mohsin says submitted. Okay, I'll just reveal the answers now. 67% of the people says that the second answer is correct, and 25% of the people says that the third answer is correct. 8% says that the fourth answer is correct. And the correct answer is the third one, that is the 25% people are correct. A class is a collection of objects with similar parameters. Okay. If this option was not present, that is a class, that is if third option was not present in the question, then second option could also be correct, right? But right now, since the third option is present, it will be the right answer. Mohsin says yes, I'm in 25%. That's good. So I hope you have understood it. Let's move on. And I come to methods. A method is a collection of statements that are grouped together to perform an operation. Arun says why second is not. That second statement is actually not precise. Okay, the third one is much better. That is, it is telling you that class is a collection of object. Exactly, Omar says contradicted question. Absolutely, that is why I asked you this question. Okay, so third answer will be correct because it is stating that a class is a collection of objects which has got the similar parameters. It is exactly correct. The second question is actually a philosophy, that is, it is used as a template to create object. Right? So this is the difference between that. Third one is exactly correct. Second one is a philosophy which is correct. So if you've got the third option, you'll be always clicking that option instead of the second one. If third one is not present, then you can say that the second answer is correct. Okay? Okay, I was on. A method is a collection of statements that are grouped together to perform an operation. A method takes some parameters, performs some computations, and then optionally returns a value. So whenever you want to create a functionality, okay, Mayank sends me a sad smiley. Now whenever you have to make a functionality, like for addition, you want to make a function for addition, you want to make a function for subtraction or any other thing. If you want to provide a particular functionality, you can make a method. This way you'll be modularizing your application. Okay, you'll be making a different method for that, and by making a method you can call that particular method at many places. This way you'll be reducing the redundant code. Okay, you'll be reusing the code. Now we'll see what are the things that are present in a method. Methods have got 5 components. One is modifiers. We'll be discussing about modifiers in the later part of the class. Modifiers are like public, private, protected, and there is a default one. Whenever you miss writing any one of them, then in those cases it will be taking the default one. Now we come to return type. A method can return a value. It could be an integer value, it could be a string value, it could be a character, it could be float, or it could return nothing. If you are not returning anything, you'll be mentioning void in place of the return type. That means this method will not return anything. Amir says, is there any difference between methods and functions? Now you would have also heard of procedure. Okay, method is a general name. There are two kinds. Methods is actually divided into procedure and functions. Procedure is the name given for a method which is not returning anything, which has a void return type. In that case, the method is called procedure. If a method is returning a value, whether integer or any value, in those cases, that method is termed as functions. Okay, but they'll always remain a method. It is just a definition. It is the theory part, that is a method returns anything, it is a function. If it does not return anything, it is a procedure. Are you clear, Amir? Please write down on the chat window. Okay, good. Now I was on return type. So I guess you have understood return type, that is it can return a value or it cannot. If it is not returning any value, in those cases you'll be mentioning void. We come to method name, the third one. Method name is actually the identifier of a method. Using the name of the method, we can use that particular method. Okay, so it is the identifier of the method name. Third thing is the list of arguments, or you can call the parameter list. Now it contains different arguments. That is, if a method needs certain values on which it has to do the computation, in those cases you actually take values right here. Example, if you're adding two numbers, the method is adding two numbers, then it will require two numbers with as the parameter. So you'll pass integer a comma integer b as the parameter, and those values will be used in body of the method. Now we come to the part that is body. In the body you'll be providing the definition of the operation. Okay, that has to be performed. That means you can say that functionality of this particular method will be present in the body of the method, that will be enclosed between the curly braces. Okay, so these are the components. Okay, before going to method overloading, let's see how to create methods. So in this class itself, that is test 1 and test 2, in test 1 I'll create a method. Okay, so a simple method, integer, first of all void, that is void, it is not returning anything, add, and it is not taking anything. Okay, in this integer a and integer b, all of you, can you answer this question? Do you know what are constructors? Please write down on the chat window. Everyone, yes, we went through in the last class, so I'll be using a constructor here. I just thought of using it, so I was just confirming whether you are aware of constructors or not. So instead of defining these two values here, I'll define it outside right here, int a, and I'll call the constructor of this class public test 1 Okay, in this I'll initialize the value of a equal to, and this constructor will take two values. Okay, now this constructor is not actually a method. Okay, it is not a method. Never confuse with a method with a constructor. A constructor will always have a name that is equivalent to the class name, and it will not have any return type. It won't return anything. Okay, Arun, I guess your question has been answered. Now I'll assign a value a to a, and a value, instead of a you'll get confused, I'll mention it x and y. X equals to a and y equals to b. Okay, and in the add function I'll simply I'll print system.out.println. I'll print a plus b. Okay, it is showing me an error. Oh, sorry, x and y. I'll simply print x and y. In that I'll also mention a text that will be the sum is, okay, and I'll add a plus sign between them. Now I'm not passing any parameter to this function. Science says and constructor is called as soon as an object is created for the class. Exactly. Yes, Ashraf, thank you for correcting me. Now I am not taking any parameter in this function. I'm not returning anything. It has a functionality that will print the numbers. Now in test2 class, I'll remove all these things, and here I'll create an object of test1 class. So I'll test1 ob equals to new test1. I'll use this one constructor, that is test1. In this I'll pass two values, let's say 5, and b second value is also 5, and I put a semicolon. I put save the file. Now if I run the code, will I receive anything right now if I run the code? Anyone of you tell me. Sai says 10. Amir says no. Exactly correct, Amir, because I haven't called the function. So I'll write ob dot. Now I'm showing you how to use a function with an object. So I'll write ob dot. Ashraf says sum 55. Okay. Ob dot function add. I put a semicolon. Now it will call the function that is present in test1 class, that is add, and I'll run the code. I receive the value, that is sum is 10. The spelling is wrong. Okay, the sum is 10. So we haven't passed any parameter right here to the function. We only use the constructor to give the values, and using that I'm printing this statement, I'm running this function. So all of you are clear with this. Sai says yeah, it does not print but the value is stored. Exactly, Sai. And Ashraf, are you clear why it is not printing 55? It is actually adding. These were numbers, these are variables, and you just used a plus sign. If you place them in quotes, then in those case it will print 55. Ashraf says yes sir, that's good. Now we'll make some changes. This time, instead of using the constructor, I'll just comment this part, and I'll take some parameters in it, integer a comma integer b. Okay, this time I'll print a and b. Okay, I'll show you step by step different things. So this will take values a and b. I come here, I'll just remove these two values, and in this I'll pass 100 comma 200. So we are passing two values in the method now. So this method is taking parameters, two integer values as parameters, and it is returning the sum. It is printing the sum. It is not returning, it is just printing the sum there itself. So I'll just run this code. The sum is 300. So are you clear with this part as well, all of you? Be quick and I'll then show you one more thing. Mohsin says how to break out or exit a method. It will automatically exit it. Okay, as soon as the functionality is over, the operation is over, it will exit. Mohsin. Now, instead of printing here itself, what I'll do, I'll return the value. So I'll just put the return statement, but before that I have to mention that what value will be returning. It will be returning an integer value. So I'll use the return keyword and I'll pass the value a plus b and I put a semicolon. So it will return the sum, or you can define another variable and you can write a plus b equals to that like this, integer c equals to a plus b, and put a semicolon, and finally you can return c over here. Okay, this is one way, but why to add one more line? Okay, I'll just cut it. I'll paste it right here. This is one another way. Saving it. I come here. I'm passing two values. Now what I'll do, I can do one more thing here. Int c equals to 0. Now this object will be returning a value. The value will be saved in C. So I'll write system.out.println. I'll simply print C. I'm not printing any statement this time. Run the code. I'm receiving the result 300. Are you clear with this? Now the function is returning a value and you are again coming back to this main method, and the value was stored to the C variable and we printed it. Everyone please write down on the chat window, are you clear with it? You can just Y for me. You do not have to write yes sir or clear the complete word. You can write Y and that would be enough for me. Lokesh says Y. Okay, that's good. Okay. Instead of making this line as well, what you can do, you can simply cut it, paste it over here. Okay, it is showing me an error. Let's see what it is. Type is match. Cannot convert void to int. ob.add. Okay, we'll have to use it like that itself. Now, I come to test1 Java class again. It is returning a value, it is taking parameters. Now, is there anything that could be done with a method? If we don't mention the return type, will it still run? Amir says. ob.add is an instance method, Mayank says. Yes, it will be an instance method, exactly, Mayank. Now, if you don't mention the return type, will it still run? I didn't get your point, Amir. Sai says no, it won't run. He's quite sure. I think you are saying that if I don't mention, we'll have to mention it. If you do not mention it, it will give you an error. Either remove this return keyword or mention a return type. Amir says okay. This way you can return any other value as well. Like if you want to return a float value, you can do that. But right now it will, okay, first I'll run this code for you. Now since it was returning a float value, you'll have to save it in a float variable itself. Run as 300.0. Since we converted it into float, it is showing 300.0. Now I changed this as well to float. float. Here itself I'll change it to float. float. Okay. Now I'll pass 100.10 or 1 and 200.1. Okay, change it to double, or if you are mentioning float, I'll just Control Z it. You can mention F. Okay, so for mentioning a float value, you'll have to use the F word. Sorry, not the F word, just the F letter. Okay. Mayank says, can we invoke the instance method like this? system.out.println ob.add. Is there anything like typecasting in Java? Exactly, there is a thing like typecasting. Mavish says that we have to declare x and y also. X and y? Okay, we are not at all using x and y right now in our method. Mavish. Okay, they were just used in the first example that I took. You can comment it. Okay, Mayank is saying like this. Now actually Mayank, I tried the same thing. It is done, but it is showing me an error right now. Okay, so if I write ob dot add and I pass 20f and 20.1 2.1f. Okay, it is taking it right here. That time it was showing an error due to some reason. So Mayank, your question would have been answered now, is it? Okay, good. Now I run this code. Now this time this will be returning a float value. I run it and I received 22.1. Now I'll show you typecasting as well. So I'll change it to int, and here okay. Now this will actually convert the addition of a and b from float to int. It will be typecasting it, and here we'll receive the result. So I'll just run the code. This time I'm receiving 22. So are you guys clear with it? Amir, is your question answered? Every one of you write on the chat window whether you have understood this method, how to use it in all the different kinds. The typecasting part as well. Everyone write it. Mayank, Sai, Amir, Mayank. Again Mayank says yes. What about the rest of you? There are many other people present in the class. Gulzar, Irfan, Ashraf, Mavish, Mohsin, Nikhil, Om, Rakesh, Umar, Sarah. Okay. Okay, some of you replied. That's good. Now we come to method overloading. Gulzar says, I joined now. Why were you late, Gulzar? You were stuck somewhere? Now I was on method overloading. We understood what is a method, how to use it. Now there is a concept that is overloading a method. That means you're actually overloading a particular thing. You have got a method that is add. Now you want to do some other thing using the same method name. That will be termed as method overloading. Now let's see what this presentation has to say. The overloaded function must differ either by the number of arguments or operands or the data types. Okay, so in these three cases, whenever you do this thing, the method will be considered as overloaded function, but the name of the method will remain the same. The same function name is used for various instances of function call. Okay, Mohsin, I'll come to your question. Right, so you have to understand it. Whenever you are overloading a method, the argument should be changed, either the operands or the data types, but the name of the function will have to remain the same whenever you are overloading the method. Nikhil says arguments and operands are same, right? Yes, it is used for the same thing. We'll be using it right now. We'll understand it in a better way. Now let's see this example. The example is saying that this is the same animal class. Within that I defined a function right here. It is saying without parameters. Now we come to the second class. Now overloading can also be done in the same class as well. Okay, you can overload a particular method in a particular class. I'm showing you in an extended class. The example is of extended class. In Eclipse I'll show it to you. Now function in second class, I extend the animal class and I'm again declaring another function, that is public void function. Now this function is taking a variable. Okay, it is taking an argument, so it is changed. We have changed the argument. First one is not taking any argument. Second one is taking one. So here we are writing system.out.println. The number passed is this. Okay. So we have got one class animal, the second class aquatic. Aquatic is extending the class animal, and we have got same name function, that is function in first one as well, as in the second one. First one is not taking any parameter, second one is taking an integer value. Moving on, in the main method what I did, I created an object of the second class, that is ob equal to new aquatic. Now first I called the function that is without parameters, and then I called the function with parameters, and I'm using the same object. So this function is defined in the super class and this function is defined in aquatic class itself. Let's go to Eclipse and try to understand that. Okay, I've got both of these things in one. That is, there's one more concept, that is overriding. Okay, I have explained in the same class, that is public class animal, integer function int a, int b, and I'm adding the number and returning the sum. I have another function in the same class, but the return type is different and the arguments are different. So it is overloading the function, that is fun. This is giving you the sum of three float variables, okay, and it will return the sum. Now instead of showing this, I'll make a new project for all of you. Close all, file, new, Java project, overloading. Okay, and then I'll come to overriding itself. New class animal. Instead of this, I'll just copy all those classes from inheritance itself. Control C, and I'll paste it here. I'll make changes to it. Now in animal, I'll place one class. So if you want to use in the same class, what you can do, you can use it like this. In main method, what I'll make a change. Instead of aquatic, I'll make an object of animal class. animal ob1 equals to new animal. I put a semicolon, ob1 dot. I can use function int a and b or the double one. First of all, I'll use 6 and I'll pass 7 in it, and I put a semicolon right here. Second, I'll call the second function as well, that is function double. Here I'll have to pass 20.1, 20.2, and finally 20.3. okay, and I put a semicolon. These are returning the values, so I'll have to place the syntax system.out.println as well. So sysout similarly I'll do it the same thing here, sysout, and I'll place the bracket parenthesis, and I save the file. So what we are doing, we are actually overloading this function, that is fun, in the same class, and I'm using these functions using the object of that particular class. Okay, I've got few questions. Amir says int function integer a float b, int function float a integer b. Are these valid overloading? Yes, it will be a valid overloading. We'll try it, okay? I'll just run this code now. So it is giving me a result 13, where it called the first function, and second one gives me a result 60 point and the digits 20, 20, 20, 60 and 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it is giving, since we use the double one, so double gives you a decimal values tell these many numbers. So are you clear with this? That is method overloading in the same class. Now I'll overload the method in a different class, in the extended class. You can also do that. So first function is defined here, the second one, just remove this, control V. Okay, so it is overloading the function, it is not overriding it. If I write override, it will give me an error. Okay, it will tell me to create function in super type animal, then only it will override. So it is not overriding it. So this is a proof for you. Now same name, different arguments and different return type. So OB animal, instead of animal object, this time I'll create aquatic object. And I save my file. And I run the code, I'll receive the same result. So all of you are clear with this? In inheritance, I've used it right now. Aquatic class has inherited the animal class and I'm overloading the function that was present in animals. So I change the arguments. Now you can use both the functions using the parameter list. You just have to change the parameters. Mohsin says yes, clear. Okay, Amir says int function int a int b, int function int a int b int c. Is this valid too for overloading? Yes, because the number of arguments have changed right now. Omar says please explain it once again. Absolutely, I'll do that for you. Now Omar, what I have done, I have a class that is animal. Within that I have defined a method that is function. Function is returning integer value and taking two parameters as two integer values. Okay, I'm doing the sum and I'm returning a value that is sum. I extend this, I make another class aquatic and I extend this class with the animal class. Now since I've extended it, you must be clear that I can use this function. Okay, but what I did, I want to overload this method. I changed the return type to double, function double A, double B and double C. Now this is taking three double values instead of two integer values. So this method has been overloaded right now. Now I return the sum of these double values and I'm returning sum. In the main method, I have created an object of aquatic class. Using that object, I write ob1.function and I pass integer values 6 and 7. So it will know that it has to use this function. That is why you are receiving a result 13. In the second case, I am calling function again, the name is same, but the parameters are different, that is 20.1, 20.2 and 20.3. So it will call a function that has been defined right here, the overloaded function. Okay, that is why you receive a result 60.5 and so much. Are you clear now? Omar, please write down on the chat. He says got it, thanks, that's good. Now I come to question that was integer function int a, int b, float function int a, int b, int c, and what about this? Is this valid too for overloading? Yes, it is valid because the return type has been changed. Amir, even the argument list has changed. Is it clear? It will be a valid return type. You have understood it well. Now only question that is left, he was asking that int a and float b. Okay, these are the arguments. I'll just typecast this value to float, float, sorry, to integer. Okay, similarly it is returning, I'll just copy this entire part. I come here, I'll copy this, I'll just paste in place of that. Now you're saying float b, I'll just remove it x, v, comma, okay. What I'll do instead of this, I'll also print, if second one was called, I'll print system.out overloaded. Okay, so say overloaded. Overloaded. Okay, so it will print this. I come to the main one. One is integer, first one, and float. Okay, so 6 and second 7f. Here I'll change the parameters to 7f comma 6. Sorry, comma 6. So Amir, this was your question, right? Now I'll run this code. 13. First time it called the previous function that was defined in animal class. So it only returns the value that is 13. But the second time you interchange the arguments. First one is float, the second one is integer. This time it is calling this overloaded function. That is why you receive oof overloaded, and the answer is 13 itself. So Amir, are you clear? And every one of you, are you clear with this? Okay, what about the last question? He says, sorry, question was this: integer function int a int b, float function int a int b. Yes, the return type has been changed. Amir, you just have to experiment it on your own. You'll get the answers. You have understood what is overloading. That is for sure. Okay? Sai says yes, clear. Amir says thanks. Okay, Mayank says, can you explain about is a has a function? Okay, I'll just send you a blog post, or not a blog post, a post on Facebook community. You can go through that. Okay, Mayank? I'll make a blog post and go through that, and you can comment there, each and every one of you. Let's stick to the class. That is why I'm doing it. Mayank. Amir says too many questions. That's fine. That is why I'm here. Okay, so you guys are clear now with method overloading. Moving on. I come to method overriding. Now what is method overriding? The implementation in the subclass overrides replaces the implementation in the superclass. Okay. Now it is actually done in inheritance itself. When a class extends a superclass, now there was a method in the superclass. So whenever you want to replace the exact one, in those cases what you can do, you can actually replace it using the method overriding concept that is present in Java. Okay, so it is done by providing a method that has the same name. The name of the method remains same in overriding. Parameters are also same, as well as the return type as the method in the parent class. Okay, return type, parameter and name, each and everything has to be same. That means the signature of the method will be same in overriding. Okay, only the functionality within the method will change. Let's try to understand it. It will be much clearer right now. So you have a package name animal class. In that you have got a function that is int a and b, returning the addition as c. Okay, you have got aquatic class. Aquatic class extends the animal class. It has the similar signature, that is integer function int a and b. Sai says example in aquatic class lives in water. Okay, let's understand this. So the signature is quite same, that is integer function int a and b, similar syntax, similar signature, but the body has been changed. First one body was that integer c equals to a plus b return c, but the second body also includes that is system.out.println sum by superclass. So we are calling this function from this function, and the functionality, this one is returning the multiplication. Okay, that is a multiplied by b, and finally you return c. So this function is actually returning the multiplication of two integers. This one is returning the addition of two integers. So this function is overriding this function that was present in animal class. Yes, this is the spelling that is overriding. Finally, when I'll come to the main class, in main class what I did, I created an object of aquatic class, that is aquatic ob equal to new aquatic system.out.println product by derived class will be ob function 2 and 3. Now when I'll run this code, you'll understand it in much better way. I'll close it. Now I'll open the previous one, the previous example I had of inheritance. Okay. First of all, I'll comment few part. Control 7 and even this one. Saving the file. Okay. First class, that is animal. Amang says roses are red, apples are ripe. If you don't import, you have to type. Okay, that's good. That's another good one. Now public class animal. In the animal class, I write integer function int a, int b. Okay, integer sum a plus b, and it will return sum. I hope this function is quite clear. Okay, this will take parameters as two integer values and it will return the sum of those integers. You come to aquatic class. In this aquatic class, you are extending animal class. So you extend animal class. Here you are overriding the function. You see the function is same. I'll copy this signature and I just paste it over here. If it is different, it will give you an error. If it is not, it won't. Save it. It is not giving an error because both are same. So signature is same, but the functionality has been changed. It will print a statement. Now this is actually using the super keyword. So understand the use of super keyword as well. Super keyword will call the function which is present in the parent class. So by mentioning super.fun a and b, it is calling the function that is right here. Okay, so you can use super keyword to call the function that is present in the super class. It only works in the case of inheritance when you extend a particular class. Okay, so first I'm printing the sum using the super function that is present in the parent class, and in the second one I write integer c equals to a multiply by b, and I return the multiplication of these two integers. In the main class, I have an object of aquatic class. Using that object, I print a statement that is product by derived class, and I pass ob dot function. I'm calling the function that is present in aquatic class. Okay, 2, 3. So this function will call this one. When you come here, it will first call the super function, print the sum, and then it will return a value. That returned value will be printed with this statement. When I run this code, you'll receive sum by super class is 5. You come here, you receive the sum comes here. So sum by super class is 5 first of all, and then you come here, the return value multiplication is 6. That is product by derived class is 6. We are passing 2 and 3. All of you, are you clear with this? Please write down on the chat window, every one of you. Can we have override a function in the same class? Amir says. Okay. Copying the entire part. Okay, the functionality is different. I'll just paste it and you'll receive your answer. What do you see, Amir? You see an error. You cannot have it. Overriding means you are changing the entire functionality, okay? That means this function has to be used instead of this. So you cannot have both these functions in the same class. That is the reason why. You'll have to make a hierarchy using which you can use it. He says, okay. So all of you, are you clear with this? Then I'll show you one more thing. I'm overloading and overriding things at the same time. Rakesh says yes. Mohsin says yes. Okay, that's good. Now, I'll just uncomment this, the previous ones which I commented in the starting. I'll uncomment this one also. Now see what I've done. Now can you tell me by taking a look on this what I'm doing right here? Function, so taking two integers, one integer, return type, 2, 3 double values, and return type is double. Sai says overload. I'm overloading the function. Umar says overloading. Amir, Mehvish says overloading. Vasil says overloading. Exactly correct. I'm overloading the functions right here. Now, we have got two overloaded functions. I come to aquatic class. This aquatic class is extending the class animal. What I am doing, I'm actually overriding both the overloaded functions. Okay, so you can do this thing as well. So I've overridden the first function which is taking integer values and returning integer, and I've overridden the second function as well which is taking the double values and returning the multiplication of the inputs. Okay, Arun says overloading. So guys, are you clear with this? In the main method, I'll just uncomment this part. I'm calling both the functions I run this code, control F11, sum by superclass 5, product by derived class 6. Sum by superclass 9.0, product by derived class is 24.0. Because second one is taking the double values, first one is taking the integer values. So all of you, are you clear with it? I've used the combination of overloading and overriding at the same place. Sai says yes, Mohsin says yes, Vishal says yes. Okay, switch the subclass. Okay, this is your subclass, Mayank. Amir says, yep, clear. Arun says, sir, can super inherit the final method? No. If a method has been termed as final, that means that cannot be used in any other class. Okay? Arun, you cannot inherit that class or a method. Is that clear, Arun? Mayank says, okay. Please write down on the chat window, Arun, if it is clear to you. Okay, then that means it is quite clear to you. Okay, that's good. Getting back to the presentation, and I come to modifiers. Mohsin says final class can be used only one time. Exactly, final class can be used only one time. Like what I do, I just change this animal class to final. Okay, and I save it. I receive an error in aquatic since the class animal has been changed to final. Okay, so you cannot inherit that particular class. Control Z, saving the file. Okay, we come to modifiers now. I told you it is a part of method or any class or anywhere. It is used all over the application. Now, first modifier is a public modifier. Any method in a class can access the field. Okay, that means if anything, any entity has been mentioned as public, that means that particular entity can be used all over the application, whether it is a variable, a method, or a class. Okay, so it could be used all over an application. It is a government thing. Like if it is a government property, a government park, anyone can go there. Similarly, if you have got a public variable, that variable can be used by any class, anything. Okay, it would be used all over the application. We come to protected. Any method in the same package or any derived class can access the field. When an entity has been mentioned as protected, that means that entity can be used by the classes that are present in the same package or can be used by a derived class. Okay, this is the condition. It could be used either by the classes that are present in the same package or it could be used by the derived classes. Finally, we come to the third access modifier, that is the private. If some entity has been mentioned as private, that means only methods within the class can access the field. I have also shown you an example for private and protected. As well as public, we have been using all over the application. So whenever something has been mentioned as private, that could only be used in that particular class itself. Finally, when you do not mention public, protected or private, any of the modifiers, then in those cases what happens, it takes the default. Default is that only methods in the same package can access the field. Okay, that means the classes that are present in the same package can only access that particular entity in which you haven't mentioned the access modifier. Arun says, please repeat protected. Protected is that if an entity has been mentioned as protected, in those cases that entity could be used by the classes that are present in the same field, in the same package, or they could be used by a class that has inherited that particular class in which that entity is present. Are you clear now, Arun? Please write down on the chat window if you are clear. And rest of you, are you clear with access modifiers that are used in Java? Everyone, there are around 15 people should receive 15 yeses or 15 no's or the combination of them. Mayank says yes, Vasil says yes, Amir says yes, Mavis says yes, Sai, Irfan, Sara, Nikhil, Rakesh, Sai. Sai says so default is protected. No, Sai, just go through the statement once again and tell me whether you say the same statement again. Will you ask the same question again after going through the statement? Just go through it once again, and again if you ask me the same question, then I'll explain it to you. Arun says communication between class by protected. Okay. Umar says yes. Mohsin says will default be private like in data structures? Lokesh says yes. Clear. Mohsin, can you just rephrase your question? I'm unable to understand it. I'm not very clear with your question. That is the point. Now, Sai, are you clear with it? That is default and protected. Please write down on the chat window. He says no, not yet. Okay, the only difference is a protected method can be used by a derived class, but it is not the case with the default one. Okay, it is quite similar to the protected. I guess we'll just check it out. Okay, the best way to use it is a practical thing. Double can be used in the same package and can access the field. So what I'll do, I'll make another package. Okay, new package second, finish. Okay, new class. I'll just move this main class to this second one. Okay, now see this function that you define, you did not mention any access modifier, but it is giving you an error. So these cannot be used by any class that is present outside it. Okay, but let's say I'll also move the aquatic itself. Okay, now aquatic is showing the same error. Now are you clear with it? This is a derived class. Okay, the difference was right there. That is the derived class. If you mentioned it as protected, it could be used by a derived class, but if it is you haven't mentioned any access modifier, it cannot be used by a derived class. Only the classes that are present in the same package can use the method or the field. So now what I'll do, I'll come in animal, I'll change this to, I'll mention that it is a protected method. And here itself I'll change to protected. Let's check it. Now did you see, Sai, what I have done? Are you clear with this? Please write down on the chat window now, or I'll explain it to you. Sai says, yeah, thanks, clear. Mohsin says, okay, what about the rest of you? Are you clear with it, what I have explained right now? This is the difference between protected and default. Wasil says yes, Amir says yes, Rakesh says yes, Mavis says yes, along yes. What about Sarah? Are you clear with it? And Umar, Gulzar says repeat. Sarah says yes, clear. Okay, Gulzar, what I did, right now I'm trying to explain the difference between protected and default. When it is protected, any method in the same package or any derived class can access the field. Okay, these are the two conditions, same package or derived class. In default, only the same package. Okay, so that is what I'm trying to demonstrate right now. First of all, I'm using protected. Aquatic and main are the class that are present in another package. In the first package, only animal class is present. So what I did, I mentioned I had two functions, one and the other one. Okay, these are overloaded function. I mentioned them as protected. Okay, so since it in protected, what is the condition? Either in the same package, so we have already seen that. But if it is in another package, if the class has derived, it has inherited animal, then only it can use it, or else it cannot. Okay, so you can easily use it, you're not receiving any error. But what if I change it to default? Okay, I won't mention any access modifier. I come to aquatic, I remove this again, okay, and I remove this. Right here we are inheriting a function, even then we are unable to use the functions, right? Because they are present in different packets. So in default modifier, you can only use a particular entity when it is present in the same package. Is that clear, Gulzar, now? Okay, Vasil says default lies in between public and protected. Gulzar, please write down. Okay, Gulzar says thanks. That's good. Control Z, Control Z. Okay, you'll be receiving all the code, so you can go through it again and experiment it, whatever you like. Okay, just try anything you want. Okay then. And it was the final topic. I guess I have got few questions for you. One question for you, I guess. Okay. The question is right in front of you. It will come. There is a method cast to int array, has a double array as parameter and returns an array of integers. Okay, what is the signature of the method? Now give me the answer. Let's see how much you have understood the topic method. Take your time. And Sai, I expect a correct answer. You just mentioned it on the chat window as well. What answer did you give? Not all of you. All of you can just write it on the, click on the polling screen. I want especially from Sai. He's very inquisitive. He wants question. Home says, okay, sorry. Don't be sorry, Home. I was just joking. Okay. Which one of the answer do you think is correct? Home sends me a smiley. Has a double array as parameter, okay, and an integer array of integers as return type. Okay, Sai has given me an answer. What about the rest of you? Guys, be quick. Just click on the polling screen and cast your answers. 73% have only voted. I request everyone to cast your answer. Give me a vote. What do you think is the correct answer? Okay, 8% of the people says the first one is correct. 8% says the third one is correct, 69 says the fourth one is correct, and 15% says that the fifth one is correct. And the correct answer is the fourth one. That is public int brackets cast to int array parenthesis within that double array A. Lokesh sends me a sad smiley. So that is the correct signature of the method, right? Okay then, all of you please tell me, are you all clear with the topics that were taken today in today's class? Everyone please write down on the chat window. Rakesh says yes, Vasil says yes, Irfan says yes, Sai says yes, clear, Mavish says yes, Mayank says yes, Mohsin, Amir says yes, Mohsin says but one question, okay. Nikhil says yes, thanks for the class, you're welcome Nikhil. Okay, Mohsin, just post this question on community, the Facebook community. I'd like to show each and every one of you. Okay, I'll just open this. Now, first I'll show you the comprehensive Java course LMS again. Home says thanks, well explained. Okay, the first assignment have been posted. All these 3 assignments have been posted on Facebook community. So all of you go there and submit your solutions. I'll review them there itself and I'll send your reviews. Okay, I'll send the comments on that how was your attempt. Okay, this way everyone will get to know that what other people are doing. Okay, whether people are actually attempting the assignments or not. The interaction will be more. Mavish says, you guys at Edureka are doing a great job. I love Edureka. That's good. Even you can post this as well as community. Mehvesh? So you guys have to do a lot of things on community. Mehvesh and Mayank, you have to post your poems, and rest of you have to post your solutions onto the community. Second chapter, I'll post the assignments real soon, and I'll unlock the assignments for the third chapter itself. Okay? Rakesh says, yes, I'll post my comment to absolutely do that. Now, let's open Facebook. Okay? A lot of study has been done. Let's relax for a while. Okay, I've got a notification as well. Okay, Edureka Java community. This is your community, right? So you, as you can see, you have got the assignment right here. First one, Mr. Thomas 1. The second, Jack and Jill leisure activity, and Michael and Bruce, who wins the race. Okay. So guys, everyone, please post your solutions. It's a request, a humble one, because I want you to post it right there, and I'll review your solutions. Okay, it will be my responsibility, but I want your post right there itself. Okay. Rakesh says it's really nice job. Okay, thank you. Okay, now for the registration of the class, there were people who registered quite late, like Hardik, and there were few more people, right? So I would request register for day after tomorrow's class today itself. Okay, because actually I'm approving you people, so if you register late, you won't be able to attend the class because I won't approve you. Today I did it, but the next time it won't be possible for me, right? So register yourself one day prior to the class so that I can actually approve you. I have added the event in Facebook as well, and you'll be receiving the invitation for the class on your email IDs as well. So this is for class 4 event. This is your event. You can register it using the link right here. Okay. So don't be late next time like today. Register for the class. Okay, then Mayank is going to watch a cricket match. Okay. Om says I deactivated my FB. Now I think I have to activate it again. Absolutely do that. So everyone, how many posts will I be receiving today from all of you? How many solution of the assignments? Guys, write down on the chat window and then we'll end the class. Mohsin sends me a smiley. No one? Lokesh sends me a smiley. Rakesh says on FB is required for social community. Exactly, that's the point. If you actually post on FB, other people will also get inspired with you, right? Because it is a limited community, only you people will be actually seeing it. So we want your involvement, we want you to discuss on Java. This way you'll be learning more. Okay, there will be few unanswered questions that cannot be taken during the class, but that is the right portal where we can do it very easily. Okay, so that is why I want you to do it. Arun has a question, that is, by which modifier class in a package can access a class in another package? By which modifier class in a package can access a class in another package? I have did Thomas. Okay, Arun, I didn't understood what you are trying to say. Rakesh says, so Om, please do it fast. Rakesh is saying, okay. Here's a request from Rakesh for Om that just activate your FP account. Arun says, by which modifier class in a package can access a class in another package? Okay, you posted a question. Omar says, bye for now. Thanks for the class. Sure. Om says. Okay, good. I'll give you a reply on community itself. For today, bye all. Thank you for being here today. You have your next class on this Thursday, the same time, that is 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. and we'll meet there. So for now, I'll take a leave. Bye all. Take care and go through the assignment. Post your solutions. That is the important part. Okay. And don't forget to fill in the survey. Give your comments, give your suggestions so that I can improve myself and provide you a better class the next time. Thank you all.